Hello, good evening. How's it going? Welcome to the Tequila Zoo. I'm Bryce, the Tequila Hound. Get Rudy up here, the Lion. We're going to have John with us tonight. A Black Stallion. All right, let's see. Let's get this going. Hope everyone's doing well. Get Rudy on here. Got a new brand we're going to be talking about, interviewing here shortly. We got Rudy on location. There we go.
Hey, how's it going?
What's going on?
We're out in the desert. We're out in the desert tonight. The zoo's on location.
Yeah.
Actually, this is my aunt and uncle's house out here in Cave Creek, Arizona. So it's a little bit north of me. So, and as you can see, my aunt, she kind of likes, give you a little lean down.
Got a little tequila fan there.
Yeah. She's got the drunken donkey.
With the Don Julio XA. I see Corrido back there.
Yeah. Look at it. She's even got one of these.
Santo.
She has one of these.
Fortaleza. Yeah. That one's rare.
She's a fan. She definitely knows. She likes nice bottles, but she always will ask, what's a good bottle? Is this a good one? So she's definitely got some good stuff back there. She's got an old school. Where's the G4 back here? Behind her Santo, she's got a Código Mezcal Ancestral.
Okay. Yeah, they've got an artisanal and an ancestral, I believe. They're both good.
She doesn't have this, but I put it on the shelf for the show.
Okay. Yeah. Nice.
She's got her Fortaleza. She's got a Caballero back there.
Okay.
That one's probably a couple years old too, because that's from way back when. So she's got a full Ray Sol bottle over on this side. Like, she got some bottles, man. So that's the tour of. And the bars are over here. We're using the pool table today. So if you hear the weird echo, that's what it is. So yeah. So how's Texas been, man? How's Texas?
Texas is good. Finally got some rain, dropped the temperatures down. Had a couple days of fall so far. We'll see if it sticks around. Make sure summer doesn't come back.
Yeah, we're actually only at 81. We had some good cold nights, and so, but we did still hit 105 like last week. So we're still stuck in that. But we'll have to find out from Mr. Stallion, because the Stallion's back tonight. Stallion's coming back. Yep. He's running behind. Got to clean up the stables a little, but
no worries. Looks like Dustin's on here as well, and he's one of our buddies, one of the partners there at Cabal.
There she is.
Very cool.
The drunken donkey tequila cantina. That's her Instagram too. So yeah, she's got some good ones.
Yeah. So Dustin was bringing up what's going on in Israel. We don't normally get into politics, but there's only one obvious side on this. So we definitely stand with Israel and the Jewish people. There's just no room for terrorism. So I'm gonna shout out, just in case hopefully no one's affected by that, but we know people are. So
yeah,
anyone, give them your support. So thanks for bringing that up, Dustin.
Yeah, we spent some time with the Cabal boys last weekend.
Okay,
they were out here in Arizona. We did some tastings. We ran around town.
Barcoa?
Barcoa, we did our Barcoa and Trevor's. We did Trevor's.
Okay. So, that's the liquor store there?
That's the big liquor store. They have the golf, the indoor golf. What do they call that? Simulator.
So, oh wow,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah, that was fun. So we
They serve? Are they allowed to serve there too?
They have a full bar too.
Okay.
Yes, they have a full bar. So you can order what's in their bar, but you can only pretty much drink what they have. But they have a big tasting area, and there's a bunch of samples kind of like this sitting there. So you can, if you want to taste Cabal, the new Cabal Añejo 44 up there, if anybody's in Arizona, you can walk right up and they have a bottle of it. We already left them a sample. So
yeah, go try that.
Try that.
That's really good. Yeah.
What we didn't leave a sample of that you should get is go try the mezcal. The mezcal is really good too. So,
yep.
Yeah. But the day before that, because we ran. It was funny because Dustin's like, I got to go home. I can't stay up this late. I got so much to do. We were laughing. Come on, man. You're younger than me. You can do this. Me, him, Everardo, and Grant Gardner from Barco were out a little bit late doing some things. But then the first night, what was it? Tuesday night. There to the throne. Landed in Arizona.
Oh.
Mr. Pedro Camarena himself. Yeah.
Very cool.
So we did his tasting on Wednesday night. So then he ran around. We ran around town, went to a different bar, hung out, and drank some stuff there, and then got him home safe and sound about 2 a.m. Just normal stuff we do in Arizona. Yeah. And then he went and ran around and did his customer thing, and then he came to Barcoa and hung out with Dustin and everybody and Everardo and did the tasting with us. So there's some pictures and some videos of that, of him hanging out there at Barcoa with everybody. It was a good time. It was a great time.
Very good to cool. Yeah.
Have some of those people there. Ivan Correño that we had on the show last week, he was down there too, sampling, and even Lee just jumping on right there. Lee was down there doing some samples one night, so he got his bottles too. Then what else? Steve, your buddy, the one you're talking about, with the Raicilla Mezcal, what's his name? Steve?
No, you're talking about Tom Hall?
Oh, Tom.
Yeah,
sorry, I don't know what I was thinking.
Yeah,
Tom came through too.
Tomas,
sent me a message. Tomas came down. He shared his mezcal. There you go. Yeah, he shared his Raicilla and mezcal. Everybody was enjoying that. So it was packed. It was a packed house on Thursday night. Thursday night was rolling. There's a picture of all the brand owners together that along with Grant standing there.
Is that like a scheduled event, or y'all just had that many people in town, so y'all just kind of made it a thing?
Cabal was set up, so we had that set up, and
Pedro
he was set up the day before. So
okay.
And then Tomas sent me a message. I was like, hey, come on down. We got everybody down here. Might as well come down. And Ivan lives in town, so Ivan came down. So yeah,
very cool.
It was fun. It was packed, like I said, packed house. So, but yeah, man. So, but I am excited because at our LA party out there that we had our friends pop up and come out. Senor Arturo came out and brought his Lost Lore. This is the añejo. This was very good. So we were sipping that. We'll probably talk a lot tonight about the Blanco. So, and the video I put earlier, the little stage, that is actually my aunt's she shed. That looks like, her she shed. It looks. Let me see. I think I have the video here too. Well, I know I have the video, but that's her she shed that she built to look like that.
Yeah, I thought you started traveling for these little video tidbits.
No, that's their house. That's in their backyard.
Yeah.
And I was like, look, you got the donkey, you got the drunken baracho there. Like, we gotta record this. So that was funny. That was a good one. My Uncle Jerry was like, man, he's like, you got the setup here. I said, I might have to come out every week.
Yeah.
Come out every week and record. So, but Lost Lore out of 1414, we're going to talk about this one tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was talking to Arturo. It was very interesting because he's going to talk about it tonight. He's a little different. He's got got some tricks up his sleeve with his brand. You know, there's another type of distillery involved, type of thing involved that he's going to talk about. That's
Okay.
It's going to make everything a little bit different. You know, he gave me a little tip about that. I was like, oh, we're going to bring that up. But he does have the 3 expressions, so we'll talk about that.
Yeah. Yeah, and we tried those at the industry party. So.
Look at Lee, new back bar. Actually, Lee, I'm in your neighborhood. I'm in Cave Creek. I'm in Cave Creek North, up by the desert park, off 7th. I'm off 7th. 7th. Where are we at? Yeah, I think we're on 7th Street. Yeah, my aunt and uncle live over here, so we're doing a little family birthday party out here, and I decided if she's got the bar, I might as well stay out here.
She has several locations to shoot at. Yeah.
Yeah.
The bar.
Backyard. Yeah, they have a nice property out here, so it wasn't too hard to make that decision. So.
Yeah.
All right. So what else? Festivals. What festivals you know about, Bryce?
We still got Arte Agave coming up, 27th of October here in Austin. It's on a Friday, so VIP it's 6 o'clock, so it's in the evening, 6 p.m. till 10, or regular, general admission, 7 till 10. So you can get 20% off. Use the code ATC20.
There you go.
Capitalized. Austin Tequila Connoisseur, or Austin Tequila Club, however you want to remember it. ATC20. So, and then the week after that, on Saturday, that's November the 4th, is Austin Tequila Fest. So it's a different group, and they do. They only have general admission left, but they get 6 p.m. till I think they go till like 10 or 11 as well. So
right, okay.
They're kind of our 2 tequila events. They're always kind of stacked. So back to back.
Now, did you watch any of the Sip Tequila live the other day?
I did. I saw where Lauren and who else was with her? Marissa. I saw them talking. So they're getting interviewed, doing kind of their spiel. I saw tidbits of that others put out there. I guess Siempre was there. Quintaliza was there. Who else did I see out there?
Oh, you can't see it.
Yeah, I can't see it that high, but yeah.
Yeah, I was sipping some of this.
Yeah,
I brought this so my aunt could try.
Alex was there. So yeah, I saw some of the stuff that they put out.
Yeah. All right, so you got a couple of festivals in Texas, and well, I guess we'll find out later. I don't know. Oh, look, there's our stallion.
Yeah, he should be joining.
There he is.
There we go.
Stallion.
Stranger. Yeah.
So what?
Stranger danger.
Hey, man, it's busy out here, bro.
No, it's good to see you.
Just literally ran back in the door, set my son up.
Stallion is back.
Yeah.
What's going on? How y'all doing? What's going on out there? How y'all doing?
He's
good.
Look at Lee. Who's that? That's the new part of the zoo. No, we were just talking about the events.
That's the OG original. Ain't no confusion.
We were just talking about the events going on. Scottsdale, we got Salt and Tequila this weekend. And so if you come out there, it goes from 1 to 9 p.m. because they have a bunch of music and stuff. But there's a brand. Where is it at? There's a certain brand's tent that I'll be in this weekend.
Nice.
So if you come out there, I'll be hanging out with them guys, doing some tastings with them and stuff, and talking about their brand. So we'll have fun with them. Who else? Bunch of music for that day. So, but tequila's only served from 2 to 7 p.m. at this festival. But the festival goes from 1 to 9 p.m.
Oh, so it's primarily focused on music. Is what it sounds like, right?
Yeah.
Music and tacos, but you always gotta have tequila out there.
Yeah.
So there's a few brands out there.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
Scott,
if you don't get enough tequila in 5 hours, then that's on you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then of course the big festival the following week, or the week after, the 21st of Monterey. So who got a flight? I don't have a flight yet, but I got a ticket.
Yeah.
That's it.
You'll be there. You just don't know when.
Yeah, I'll be there. We'll be there.
Yeah.
Nice.
Hey, that's kind of the new rule. One of the three of us got to go. Somebody's got to be there. Are you going? You go? No, you go. Okay. Yeah. I'll sacrifice for this one, man. Yeah.
There you
I'll
go.
sacrifice for the moderation.
Take one for the 10.
The festival that I was just talking about, it's in Scottsdale at the Salt River Fields. It's called Salt and Tacos, something like that.
And then you were also talking about the Monterey Bay, the tequila and cuisine. That's going to be the last year in Monterey. Yeah. They're going to move to San Diego.
They don't know. She's
they
talking about
don't?
retiring. So.
Oh, really? Okay. Gotcha.
But we're going to try and talk her out of it.
Yeah.
So, but
Yeah.
you got your lost floor, right? You got a little sample over there?
Yeah.
There.
I'm trying to open it now. It's well put together.
Yeah, I used to have to use a knife. Yeah.
So these dogs my aunt has, she actually goes to Mexico and brings the dogs back. So she's got 3 dogs from Mexico that she has lots of animals here. They have a whole cage of, what do we call it? What I showed you earlier, the big bird
aviary.
sanctuary?
The aviary.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The bird.
So that's when you hear barking over there, you might see me go like. So.
Yeah, and if you're in Mexico and you're missing your dog, it might be there. Yeah.
Yeah. There's only I think there's 4 dogs, one's original, and then 3 new ones. But if they liked me, I'd bring them over here because they have some of the I think they actually have a Xolo too, but they're all kind of scared.
You gonna say the whole thing? You gonna say the whole word?
Xolo squinkle.
Xolo squinkle.
Xolo squinkle. So no, not all.
Are they actually selling these, or are these just like that they give out?
No, those are just the sample ones.
Yeah, I think these are sample.
So
he said, "Bring it." I can't. Ernesto's like, "Bring the dog." I can't because they won't. Like as soon as I go near someone, he saw somebody's been practicing. If I go near the dogs, they start barking and they'll run around the house, and then they get all crazy. So I don't. So But yeah, let's talk about this a little bit. Let me show the tip. Let me show the tip there. There you go. A little bit of that.
But you can't see what I got. So.
The blanco, yeah.
I mean, I'm not showing the label. I know he's showing the tip. I'm saying I'm not showing the label, so they don't know. Right. Well, they should know by it. They should know at this point what it is. I mean, it's no
I tagged it. It's pinned, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
For tequila, Gnome 1414. We all know and love. Yeah, the big bottle's got same script but different designs. So don't look for the label. Each
bottle has its own design.
They got a fat ass on the back. I can see that for sure.
Yeah.
What? Where? Oh. She's not here. Where?
Yeah.
So that pretty quick.
I'm gonna ask Arturo.
The funny thing.
So, do you like fat asses? Is that what I'm saying?
Hey, and the funny thing is, this is the name of my aunt's bar, the Drunken Donkey Tequila Cantina. That's the name of her bar that she named it. She's got donkeys all. Look at it. She's got donkeys everywhere.
Oh, I see that Real up there, huh?
Oh yeah, she got a little Real. So she got a lot of good stuff, and then some stuff I had to put off camera that just doesn't belong on camera. I don't know what's that over there. Some celebrity thing, liquid, one of those things. No, but Lost Floor, yes, I love the design. It was funny because they have that big. My aunt has that big metal donkey out back, so that's why I recorded that little video that they're coming through, because her she shed actually looks like a little old school Western bar. So,
I'm gonna bring them on.
Yeah. So we can ask about that donkey.
We get to the bottom of that
donkey. You know what I'm saying? What motivated him to put that donkey on that label like that? Who did he come
Hey, sometimes you got to get to the bottom. Just get there. And try the añejo too. All right, so we're gonna bring Arturo on. He's going to talk to us. We got to meet him at our event in LA. Him and his wife were out there hanging out at the event. I actually didn't go by the 10. I don't remember why. I think, what side were they on, Bryce?
They were on the side, like in the grass, I think. Okay. That was like, it was a little tighter over there.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is this, because we got to see them at the event the night before, there were some tents where I was like, okay, I've already had that last night. I talked to those people. So let me run over here and talk to these people.
Okay.
Because some of them didn't come. They didn't come out and hang out that night. They were either new or they didn't get in town on time. So, but
I'm sending the invite to their company account, so they are here.
Meanwhile, Mr. Stallion, you've been traveling again.
When have I not traveled?
Everybody's like, "Where's the Stallion?" I was like, "Traveling."
Always.
Sometimes he just has to get out of the stable and just run.
That's it. Run free. That's how I used to be free out here in these streets, but now my kids got me. They got me toned down a little bit. It's basketball season and performing arts season and all that. So
Daddy Uber time. Back to Daddy Uber.
Bro, times 20, bro. Dad, coach, all that stuff, all mixed up.
All
right.
Yeah,
so I don't know if they're getting the invite.
It's not coming through. Are they in the?
Yeah,
are they in the
chat? So I'm sending the invite, but if for some reason it's not working on y'all's end, you can hit the little camera with a plus.
Yep.
And you can ask to join, and I can add you that way. Yeah, I've sent it several times.
Yeah, it's a little delayed though. Like when you added me, it took about a minute for it to kick in.
Oh, okay.
It's a little delayed today.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
So Stallion, any new brands you got to experience while you're doing your traveling?
No. I mean, of course, like I brought some with me. That's why, like some of those pictures I kind of posted up, you got to see because I brought, man, you know how we do. We always bring a little something with us wherever we go.
You brought the case, right? You brought the case. Brought the case.
Yeah, man. Yeah. But no, I hadn't tried anything new while on the road. I did try some cool stuff locally. There was a group, they meet up where I'm at now, and they had like a 50-year cognac. So I got to try that. That was, and then a 40-year cognac, and then a 50-year Armagnac. So that was actually pretty cool because I was about to bounce. I was about to leave, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we about to open up this 40+ year cognac." I'm like, "Oh okay, yeah, let me try."
Hold on. You twist my
arm a little bit. I gotta, something like that. But as far as like tequila wise, I hadn't had anything too unique. Not while on the road. No. Trying to think. No. I was in New York. There wasn't much up there outside of the norm. I mean, outside of the norm. I mean, like, what's up there that we haven't tried? Is my point.
Right. Yeah. Stuff that, for us, it's normal. For other people, they're like,
that's what I'm saying.
Look what I found.
Right. There we go.
You guys see me?
Yeah. There we go.
Cool. So I tried to get you guys on my laptop, but I couldn't, so you're on my phone now.
Yeah. Everyone pretty much does it on the phone.
Yeah, it doesn't work on laptops for whatever reason.
iPad, and that's it. iPad and phone, tablets, that's it.
Cool. How you guys doing?
Good.
Good. How are you?
Good. Yeah, just over here in Chicago, starting to get a little cooler out, so it kind of sucks.
It's that time of year, huh?
It's the time of year, man. The winters over here are so brutal. I don't like them, but it's I was born over here, so it's part of the deal.
I spent some time in Milwaukee for a bit, and that was an experience. Let me put it that way. Coming from the South, that was definitely an experience between cold and snow. Yeah, I'm not about that life. Not at all.
Yep, I agree, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can just come out to Arizona. We don't get that cold. We still wear shorts. We still wear
I
shorts
love
in the
it,
wintertime.
man. I love it. My parents just moved out there, and I helped them move in July, and it was very, very hot.
Too hot though, right? Too
It's
hot.
too hot, man. I was just like, just sweating bad. And so the neighbor saw me. He's like, "Hey, you got the Midwest sweats." That's what he told me. Because I could not stop sweating. I just profusely sweating. My shirt was completely soaked.
Your blood's too thick. You gotta adapt a little bit. You gotta move down there and let your blood thin out and adapt to the temps. Because right now you got that thick blood in order to survive in Chicago, man.
Yep,
Yeah.
exactly.
No words.
It takes a little while. I've been here, I think about 5 years now. So now it's like when it was 105 the other day, it didn't feel that bad. And then we dropped down to 95 and it was like, all right, it's 95. And people are like, what? It's 95. I'm like, hey, that's good.
Yep, yeah, exactly.
But
Crazy.
it's dropping more, man. Let's see, it's 87. So it's time to come out.
That's great.
Hang out here. So,
Yeah, I'm going to be out early November, so I'm definitely looking to check out the cool tequila spot. So Barcoa is definitely on my list. Last time I was there, I didn't get a chance to check it out, so looking forward to it.
Got to for sure.
So how'd you get?
Sir.
Yeah, how'd you start Lost Lore? What got y'all into tequila?
Yeah, it's a super good question. I think my story kind of starts in mezcal. My great grandfather, he made mezcal in the 1920s, and it was a tradition that was passed down to my grandfather, and then passed on to my father. And then in the 1970s, some super crazy happened with my grandfather. He was out in the agave fields, and he got struck by lightning. So he had severe burns and he needed severe medical attention. So he ended up getting that medical attention in Guadalajara, and my father was kind of, at a crossroads trying to figure out what he was going to do, whether he was going to continue making it mezcal or if he was going to do something completely different. So he moved to the United States. He moved to Los Angeles and then Florida, then Chicago. And he was a migrant farmer. So he picked oranges in Florida, and he picked produce over here in the Chicagoland area and kind of settled over here. So like growing up, I was super intrigued, knowing that tradition. And, my family were distillers, but it wasn't the first thing I really got into. It was kind of like always in the back of my mind. When I was in college, I got super into beer. So I opened up a brewery over here in the Chicagoland area in 2016. Brewery's still around. Name of the brewery is Sangrala Brewing. But I always had that itch, of like, hey, this is a tradition. I want to continue it. So I talked to my dad and I was like, hey, what if we do this? What if we bring this, agave spirits back with tequila? And he told me no. He didn't want to really be part of it. My dad's a older individual, and he's like, I'm getting ready to retire. I really don't want to do this. But kept asking him over and over again. He said, okay, all right, fine, we'll do it. But I want to make it the way that it used to taste when I used to make, mezcal. And that was agave forward. Just really good quality ingredients, good process, agave forward, agave spirits. So about 3 years ago, we got together and we started kind of, tasting different stuff and like, all right, hey, is this more or less like kind of like what you were looking for? And we just fell in love with, craft tequilas, a lot of tequilas from the Valley, a lot of tequilas from the Highlands. And we went to Mexico, visited a bunch of different distilleries and just fell in love with NOM 1414.
It's an excellent distillery. How many do you think you went to prior to picking one?
It was about 5.
Oh,
yeah, we went to some really good ones. Like I think I got to give the credit to Jake Lustig at Arte Gnome because he kind of did the footwork. He just like he did the groundwork for it. It's just like, okay, like this guy knows obviously the best gnome. So we visited those, and again we just fell in love with 1414. It was just a really good relationship. My father was with me, and he really got along with Sergio Vivanco.
Gotcha. So
The
go
only
ahead.
advantage that Jake had was that his mom made him move down there, so he grew up around the distilleries. That's how he found out everything.
Yeah. He's got a really cool story, and it's amazing what they're doing. It's really cool. I mean, they're pioneers. They're the first people to kind of do that, and I really have a lot of respect for what they're doing.
Nice.
Yeah. So being that you're in the brewery industry, right? Like what type of did you go in with the mentality of like we're just gonna do it this way with Dad because Dad knows the traditional way, like he's in tradition, or did you have this like concept that I want to do a little bit more like fusion? I want to bring in some of this brewery kind of experience somewhat into what we bring into our brand at some point, or with the concept or just in the brand in itself. Yeah.
Absolutely. Just a really good question. The brewing industry, when I started, there was about 4,000 breweries. Right now, there's about 10,000. So, there's a lot of innovation out there, and there's a lot of focus on ingredients and process.
Right.
And, I wanted to bring that to the tequila industry. But I knew I had to start traditional. So, where we went is, hey, we're going to do it the way that it's been done. And then somewhere down the line, we're going to start doing some test batches and doing some, different ingredients, different process.
Now, when you say different ingredients,
well, not different ingredients, but let's say yeast. Yeast.
That's fine. Explain.
Absolutely. Yeah. So what was really interesting on, the Blanco that you guys are drinking right now, it's a mixed fermentation. So you're going to get some champagne yeast, you're going to get some rum yeast in there too.
Oh, cool. Okay. When you say rum yeast, like what is considered rum yeast?
So there's labs out there where they produce the yeast for you, and then they you just pitch it.
So this is traditionally a yeast that they use in Mexican rums or Caribbean rums, or like what do you mean by like a rum yeast, like versus champagne yeast? We know is usually what they use in champagne. I guess I'm assuming.
Yeah, it's just absolutely. It's just a different type of yeast. I mean, there's numerous out there. So, each yeast is going to give you a different profile. Each yeast ferments well at different temperatures. And, some, when they're fermenting a little warmer, you're going to pump out a little different flavors, maybe a little bit more ester profile. So it's a completely different animal than, the champagne yeast for sure.
Okay. And is that like a 50-50 blend? So you get like half and then you take the other half, distill it, and then blend it together, the Blanco together, the distillate, or to get that?
Yeah. So it's similar to that. I think that's a lot of Sergio Cruz's, who's our master distiller's kind of secrets. So
okay.
He won't even tell me the whole process. I've been trying to get it out of him for a long time. He's like, this is what we're using, but that's about it.
Oh, this is what we use. This is how it tastes. You like it? Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I mean, as you guys are sipping it, again, we want to be very traditional. We want to be agave forward. So, as you smell the tequila, actually have some poured right here, you're going to get agave first, and that's what we wanted. And then from there, it's a little different than the tequilas that are coming out of NOM 1414. Again, a lot has to do with the fermentation process.
Yeah.
We are fermenting with fibers.
Okay.
So, that fiber is just going to give it a little bit more of a rustic character.
I get that saline kind of taste. Me and Bryce had this whole debate on one of the shows about like the taste of like what's fibers and like the salinity. How do you say it, Bryce?
Salinity.
Salinity. That whole taste kind of profile, and you get a little bit more of that with fibers, in my opinion. But
I agree with you 100%, and it's fun doing tastings of Blanco because Blanco is my favorite, and you're going to get the most agave flavor and aroma from it. And I've heard a bunch of different stuff, and everyone's right. I've heard petrichor. I've heard black pepper, citrus, of course agave, cooked agave, and everyone is hitting it on that.
And then my last point that I'm gonna bring up, and then I'll shut up for a little bit. But is the one thing normally I get from like 1414 products is the body is a little bit more full, a little bit more oily and heavier.
Yeah.
I feel like yours is a little bit more in the middle, right? It's not as heavy as some of the other brands that I've tasted from 1414, and just my opinion, it's a little bit lighter. So I'm curious if that's like yeast or that's by choice, of course, but that's an interesting thing that I picked.
I think it's a combination of different things. The really cool thing about tequila is like very simple ingredients, right? We're talking about agave, we're talking about water, we're talking about yeast. And then our process, that's where you start changing a little bit more. So I think it's a combination of process. When we do the HEMA, it's at a certain level. So we are looking for, a little bit more of the green of the agave to kind of give us a little bit more of that flavor. That rustic flavor I kind of keep coming to. And a lot of it, comes to the cuts. Sergio Cruz is an amazing maestro tequilero. And, he does a really, really good job with his first cuts of heads, hearts, and tails, and same thing with his second cuts.
Nice.
Yeah, and so just in case not everyone has 1414 production methods memorized, but yeah, it's stone brick ovens, roller mill, stainless steel fermentation, Mozart method, copper pot stills. I believe they have a new roller mill, right? And they replace it.
Yeah, they just got a new roller mill. So this is one of the last tequilas out of the old roller mill. So this is a 4-pass roller mill. We are kind of looking at some different options as well. They do have the Taona wheel there. It's not installed yet, but
okay, yeah,
I think it'd be nice to kind of play around with that in the future.
Where are they putting that?
Yeah, I was kind of figuring that out. I was just there. I didn't see it at all.
Is it going
it was hidden in the back.
Outdoors or?
So, do you know where their barrel aging area is?
Yeah.
So it's supposed to be kind of just like where that barrel aging area is, just outside of it.
Oh, okay.
That's where Sergio Vivanco kind of told me where it's going. So I haven't seen any movement on it just yet, but I think it's coming really soon.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's exciting. Yeah. Yeah.
I was there in the summer. I was there in July. I was like, I didn't see any indication. I didn't see any carved out area, anything being built for it. So
yeah, Viva Mexico is their house brand, and they've been kind of like teasing, kind of throwing some teaser videos out there. So I don't know exactly when, but it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Hey, Bryce, you said Mozart method. What does that mean to everybody?
Oh, yeah. So when they're fermenting, when the musto's in the fermentation tanks, and the yeast is introduced, it's also open top. So there's wild fermentation that'll happen as well, but they're actually playing classical music. And so the theory is that I guess the vibration of the music helps the yeast.
Stimulates it.
Yeah.
Stimulates
the yeast. And, I'm not a scientist, but works for me. It makes for a good visit too. It's very peaceful in there, So
absolutely. Like I brought it up last time. Like I'm a big metalhead, so I was like, I want to play some metal over here, but I don't think they're going to have that. So it's really cool. I think they're one of the first to kind of use the Mozart method. The process is really, really amazing over there. They really do take care of tequila the way it should be. All the agave is mature. They're looking for a certain bricks content before they're taken out of the ground. From there, it goes to the distillery. They're cutting it in pieces. They're taking the cogolla out, to kind of take that bitterness away from the tequila. Our tequila is cooked for about 50 hours. So we're talking about roughly maybe 24 hours with the steam on and the rest of it with the steam off.
Okay.
So we're letting that conversion process happen where you're converting the starches into sugars. And of course, like we said before, we're going to the roller mill and then we're going to distillation. Distillation is roughly about 3 days. And then from there, we start the distillation process.
Okay.
Gotcha. So let me ask the question that John's been dying to hear about. So the design of your label, your cork.
The donkey eggs.
Yeah.
The fat was pretty fat.
We want to know about the tip in the ass. That's what we're asking about here. That's what we're asking here.
Why is you pick such a fat ass?
Yeah.
So I heard that before I went on. the question if I like fat asses. But I think, I think you know, what I try to do is, you know, we plan on doing a bunch of different expressions.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, of course, right now we have the Blanco, we have the Reposado, and we have the Añejo. We're getting some really, really cool barrel aging projects too, where they'll have different artwork. But what we're trying to do is we're trying to capture like a traditional process. So, you know, everything starts in the fields. You know, there's a lot of artwork out there of the fields and the Jimador. You know, I want to do something different. I think that having the donkeys and the mules, it's something that's still used and something that I really don't see too much out there. So I definitely wanted to highlight that.
Nice, nice. Oh, so it wasn't any additional Chicago motivation there. That's nothing there, okay. Nothing from your past life.
Wasn't in honor of anyone. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, from your past. No, we're not talking about that. Okay, you're talking about
Hey, Arturo, I'll tell you, I saw something familiar about this. You know, it was the agave. That's what I saw familiar about this.
Yeah.
I noticed the agave. That's what I
Hell
saw.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. No, I love it. I get it on social all the time. They're like, man, that's a big donkey ass. And I'm like, sure is. So, you know, it's our artwork. It's memorable. I love it. So we're going to keep rolling with it.
So how do you pick labels for each expression? Like, what's the inspiration per expression? Because they're different on each bottle. I kind of saw Rudy's bottle, and it looks different on each one, from what I can tell. So yeah, how did you pick from that? And where do you go forward, being that you're going to do some more expressions, unique expressions down the road, experimental, right?
Absolutely. So, you know, I'm thinking about the process. So, like, you know, we're working on a high proof. Like, we're really looking to do that on our next production run. So we're going to highlight the still at 1414. So it's a beautiful still. You know, it's 100% copper. You know, something that you see all the time when you connect tequilas to 1414. So that'll be an artwork. That artwork's done. You know, we're just waiting for the tequila to be made. So from there, we're going into some really cool barrel aging projects. So this is kind of where we're tying the beer world with the tequila world. So we're working with Revolution Brewing over here in Chicago to get a barley wine barrel, multiple barley wine barrels, and we're going to send them down to Mexico. So we secured the barrels. We're probably going to send them out later on this year, and then we're going to start barrel aging in that. We're also in California, so you know we're working with a brewery over there named Bottle Logic. So Bottle Logic does a ton of stout. So you know we secured some stout barrels. You know they had kind of highlights of vanilla. Yeah. So those are going to go to Arandas, and we're going to start barrel aging in those too.
Awesome. I'm a stout fan, so
cool.
Yeah, I'm
cool, man.
With you.
Me too.
Yeah.
And with the cold weather now in Chicago, it's like perfect.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like you got to take a zoo trip out there. Chicago zoo trip.
Except for in the wintertime.
Chicago's great, man. It's just like there's so much like just culture, things to do. It's just the weather sucks. That's it.
Except for in the wintertime. Just not the winter. I mean, I know they set up the city beautifully in the winter, but right, like there's a lot of things going on. It's nice and well lit and all these cool looking things, but it's just cold with the wind coming through off the lake and everything too.
Yeah. But you know what? We get the best 3 months of the year in the summertime. The problem is it's only 3 months.
You pay for it the rest of the year. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
I used to hear nightmare stories. My best friend was stationed at Great Lakes, so he used to tell me some stories when he was there during like basic training and after for his first school. It was like, man, it's like stupid. Like the wind coming through the buildings just hits you and it's crazy.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's pretty nasty for sure.
You'll have the still shrimp to keep you warm now. So now you don't even need one of those nice coats. You just drink some still shrimp, walk outside, and you're good.
Yeah. Let me know when you guys come out here. We'll drink some tequila and drink some beer too. So if you like stout, you know we're coming out with one here pretty soon. So it's going to come out probably in December. So it's gonna be a big boy. You know, right around 12-13%.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Nice and strong.
Yep.
Rudy, that is a beer high proof. Just so you know, it's a high proof for a beer.
Oh, okay. 13%. All right. I'm like, just 13%? Come on, we're at 40 over here.
I know.
We're
Right?
at 55. Like, 13%. Them beer guys don't know how to drink alcohol. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So now that you created the first, the first round of the product, and you kind of established, what does your dad think about it now? How does he feel about it? What do you think about the product when it came out, and the future of it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, my he's super proud. I think that it was a tradition that he thought was going to be lost, and it's like something that we kind of brought back. So, he's super happy. He really is. And like, I think the whole story, he, again, like, you coming to the U.S. as an immigrant, like, that's a story you hear all the time. It's like, people coming from, whether it's Mexico or different countries, like, hey, they were doing something before they came to the United States. And, what was that? And like, it's not just a lost tradition, with what we're doing, but with a ton of people, a lot of immigrants that come over here. So, he's super happy. He's drinking a lot of it. So which makes him happier. After LA Tequila Fest, he came and he actually poured with us. But I sent them home with quite a bit of bottles, and he's going through them.
We snuck one bottle. I think this came to the party, and then it ended up at the rooftop house, because you came to the party on Friday night, and then we put it on the table on the rooftop the night after LA Tequila Fest, and so quite a lot of people tried it. And the funny thing about immigrants is my aunt is from Canada, and she loves tequila. So talk about immigrants. But we're gonna pour some of the añejo right now, but she won't come on camera. She's like, no, I don't want to come over there on camera.
She won't.
Okay. No. Wait, here she is. Look, there she is. So yeah, she likes the añejo, so I poured her that.
Yeah,
Uncle Jerry's over here.
The añejo is really interesting. We're really happy how it came out. When we started, we wanted to come out with more expressions. Coming from the beer world, having more SKUs, to me at least, it kind of helps with sales. So we definitely wanted to come out with 3 expressions to start. So these are aged in Jack Daniel whiskey barrels. They're very fatigued, so you're not getting a ton of oak from them, but you are going to get a little bit, and you're going to get a little bit of vanilla, a little caramel out of that too.
There's
What's up,
Uncle
man?
Jerry. This is Uncle Jerry. This is whose house it is.
Very nice house.
Hey.
He's enjoying some Lossler right now.
Sweet. Salud.
He said salute. You can't hear him because I have headphones on, but he
salute.
There you go.
There you go. You got to do it again.
So you went with Jack Daniel's barrels, gently used, shipped and washed and all that, so they didn't really have much left in them. Did you guys retard them too, or just kind of chipped it out and washed it, and that was about it? Yeah,
there's a bunch of different Jack Daniel's barrels over there. A lot of them are fresh barrels. A lot of them are fatigue barrels where they do get chipped and they get recharred. So it's a combination.
Okay. And they kind of is it kind of like a blend? Yours is from both sets of barrels?
Yep. Yeah. So we didn't have any single barrel, so they were all kind of different. Barrel aging timing was 16 months for these.
Okay.
So not super long. Again, I think Sergio Cruz does an amazing job with his barrel aging. So each barrel is different. You're going to get all different types of flavors. Once you kind of blend that, it just came out very, very nice. We're really happy with it. With the Reposado, we didn't age that too much either. That was about 4 months in the Jack Daniel barrels. Again, we're looking for agave flavor. So I think that once you age a little bit too long, you start to lose a little bit more of that. It's still beautiful, tequila's still great, but for us and our profile, we definitely want to be agave forward.
Gotcha.
So one of the things things we've been talking about lately, and I see that you did this here, Arturo. That's really great. Like, you guys, you'll be able to see it when you get your hands on a bottle. But we always talk about putting information on the side, right? So if you notice some of the videos I did lately, he actually has it on here. Cooked in stone brick ovens, roller mill, water sources, deep well water, distillation 2 times distilled in still copper pot. So that's another thing that's really, it helps. I mean, there's some people it helps them, and some people it helps educate them so they can learn a little bit more. But I'll tell you, from us, we appreciate these kind of things, man.
Absolutely. Thanks, man. I think that, tequila is going through a really interesting time right now. Obviously it's super hot, but I think there's a lot of education that needs to be made out there. And I think that, individuals like, Scarlett and Grover at Tequila Matchmaker are doing an amazing job at kind of helping, everyone just learn more about tequila. Like, I learned a ton from Tequila Matchmaker. I learned a ton from, different influences, stuff like that. So I think it's great. The more that we can educate, the more the people try really, really good tequila.
Yeah.
When it came to this, I wanted to put as much information on there as possible. Again, we're very traditionally processed. It's like you said, it's got the information as far as, stone brick oven on there. It's got no additives, which I think is super, super important for us. So we are confirmed additive free through Tequila Matchmaker. I know that everything's kind of changed recently. It's now, the additive free alliance.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's super cool. I think that this is the way that tequila should be. It's not, saying anything negative against any other tequila. It's the way I prefer it. But I think that, this is the way that it should be drank.
Yeah. And with your goal of, trying to recreate those traditionally made tequilas and, old school, the way, your dad and grandfather enjoyed it, then you have to, go additive free. So,
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely
for sure.
What was the style of mezcal? What was the style of mezcal that they enjoyed, that they created? Like, from what agave and could you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, it was Espadin, and they were more of ancestral process. When my great grandfather had his palenque, there was no electricity or anything over there. They were cooking underground. It was volcanic rock. The smoke. That's where you got a ton of the smoke character from. He had a donkey that was pulling the taona. And then, of course, like the distillation process, they weren't using any type of, tools to measure or anything. It was done the way that it was done 200 years ago, 150 years ago. So very, 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 rustic, unique process. It's cool. I love that there's some tequilas that are doing that. David Ciro he came out with a really, really cool tequila with Cascawin. So it was a Siempre Valles. And it was, yeah, exactly. And it was really, really cool how they did it.
I was going to ask, do you think you guys would ever do something like that? Has that ever popped in your mind? Since it is closer to home traditionally for what your family has done?
For sure. No, I think, I still have family that makes mezcal. So like when my great grandfather, he taught this tradition to 6 of his sons. One of them was my grandfather, but the other guys, they continued, this whole tradition. So, I have, cousins out there, let's call them, that make really, really good mezcal in Huitzila, Zacatecas. So one of those mezcals is called Huitzila. Another one is called Masparillo. So the Masparillo is really, really cool how they do it. It's a very artisanal process. But what I really, really like is that they're growing their Masparillo, their agave, from seed. So it's a different flavor. It's a different aroma. It's very citrus forward. It's beautiful. So, I think that eventually I'd like to maybe get a little bit into that. Of course, it would not be tequila, it'd be mezcal. But there's really cool things that Non 1414 did too, you know. Sergio Vivanco did that project with Siempre, where I think it's called Vivo. And they did like a process that was, you know, a little bit different and kind of had smoke characters to it. You know, they let it cook for a little bit longer where you got, you know, more of that caramel, you know, flavor, kind of like, you know, just smokier overall. But yeah, it's really, really cool stuff. I think that we will kind of get into that. But, you know, it's going to take some time. You know, we're going to focus on, you know, this first and kind of go from there.
Well, Arturo, this itself, I mean, you're already in that lane. You're already there with this one. So congratulations on Lost Lore, man.
Thanks.
That the expressions they're incredible. So we enjoyed having you at the event. I mean, a lot of people, there were a few brands that people were kind of like, are they here? Are they here? And I kept laughing. I said, yeah, I seen them over on the table. So, you know, we know that one of your brands was one that everybody was, you know, itching to try because, again, it's when you first come out, it's not available everywhere.
Yeah.
So when we get everybody together, they're like, hey, did you guys invite them? We're like, we did invite them. they're
cool.
coming, don't worry. So
awesome.
Yeah, we enjoyed having you guys there in LA. So
yeah, thank you so much. It was a super fun time. You guys party hard though, man. Really, really hard. So that Friday was fun. Saturday was fun. And then I got that invite afterwards for the after party, and my organs were given out, so I couldn't attend.
I mean, the Stallion took a break this year, but he knows he was there. He's been there before, and you know.
Yeah, I took a break from that party, but I was still out in the streets. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah, it was funny because when me and John went to Mexico a year ago, we had went out with one of the companies, and we went out till I don't know, it was 2-3 in the morning. We went back to the hotel, and he said, "Hey, we got to be out of here like at 10:30." Okay, so then. Me and John were doing what we're doing, and all of a sudden his phone goes off, and it's a FaceTime from the guy that's hosting us. And he's John answers, he's like, yeah, what's up? He goes, I knocked on your door, where are you at? And he turns the camera, he's like, we're in the gym. And the guy's like, are you kidding me? We went to sleep at 2:30 in the morning. You guys are in the gym before we leave. He's like, hey, team, no sleep. That's what we do. We just keep going. So
yeah, that's awesome.
Bryce knows.
Yeah, it was a good time.
What we do. Bryce, we went to sleep, 3-4 in the morning in LA each night that we're there?
Yeah. I didn't need my nap this year. I did better this year.
Yeah. I mean,
that's great.
It comes with pacing yourself, but it also comes with, you know, you have to know your limits, and then you have to plan for all those parties. So that's kind of what we do.
Yeah.
That weekend you just don't sleep, and you know you eat plenty of protein, and then you drink plenty of tequila. So
for sure, yeah. No, it was definitely it was fun, and you know, my wife obviously she came with me, and we had a great time. And we haven't been to LA in probably 10 years, maybe a little bit longer, and it was great. You know, checking everything out, places that you know we've been to before, and it was a really fun time.
Nice.
I got another question. Y'all mind if I ask? All right.
Hell yeah.
I knew John was gonna have a ton of questions when it came to the distilling and the beer type barrels.
Definitely. Travel wise, right? Like, so where have you been, or what have you seen that's given you inspiration for other future projects that you seem like, oh, that was really cool, that was interesting outside of tequila, right? I mean, if it was tequila, that's cool too. But anything that you've seen that's given you inspiration for some of your current or future projects?
Yeah, it's a great question. Beer side, tequila side, doesn't matter.
Whatever's giving you inspiration.
I think you know, I'm big into art, you know, sustainability, stuff like that. So like on the art side, when I see something that I like a ton, you know, my family, I still have a lot of family members that live in Mexico. So like, you know, when we go over there, it's a different world, obviously. And there's things that you see over there that you'll never see over here. So I think that that type of stuff is beautiful, and that's the type of stuff that I really want to capture and try to put on labeling. When it comes to sustainability and stuff, like Rudy, you have one of the bottles, like it's super thick, like it will not break very easily. That's 100% like recycled glass. It's a Coca-Cola glass. So I think kind of I'd like to do a little bit more of that stuff, and we will here for future runs. But I think going back and forth to Mexico just like gives me a ton of motivation and influence, to try to show as much as possible and like what we're doing, and like, hey, there's amazing stuff that's coming out of this country. So I think that Mexico is a huge inspiration. Other countries are amazing too. It's just like, when it comes to what I'm doing on the tequila side, like obviously Mexico is going to give me some amazing motivation.
Bryce, you teed up there, man. You ready to tell us how juicy this tastes? How juicy it smells?
The juicy ones are normally the aged expression. No, what I like about it, especially on the nose, is like you do get that signature 1414. You get that cooked agave. Just a lot of strong agave, which I love on the blancos. And then you get a little minerality and citrus. And then on the taste, I'm glad you mentioned that about the yeast, because it is slightly different than some of the other ones. And I think it must be that rum yeast. I don't have enough experience with it to like pinpoint it itself, but you still have, a little bit of that earthiness and salinity. It's just a good solid Blanco, and it has that rustic feel. And for me, it's that mixture of a bunch of agave, minerality, and then a little bit of that pepper and that citrus kind of gives me that feeling of the old school rustic Blancos. So I think y'all did a great job.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. And that's what we're looking to do. So like coming from you guys, that means a ton. So I really appreciate that.
100%, man. Thank you.
Yeah, it was good to be able to catch up with you and then bring you on the show and be able to show everybody. And so one of the things, big questions that everybody's always asking: what's your website? How is it getting out? Can it be shipped to other states? Those are always the questions. So can you answer that for everybody watching?
Yeah. So our website is lostloretequila.com. So from there, you could get information on just what we're doing. It's process heavy, kind of going through that stuff. Going through the expressions of the Blanco, Reposado, Añejo. As far as where you can get us right now, we just hit market within the past few months. So we're only in Illinois and California. I'm from Chicago, so there's a lot more accounts over here. We're building up California, but if you want to buy online, there's great retailers out there. Roadrunner Spirits is one of them. So they have our product. They're in California. Another one is Uptown Spirits. So those guys, they ship all across the country. So I highly suggest like anyone who's looking to get us. And if it's not in California or Illinois, definitely hit those guys up. They do a good job. I feel like their pricing's fair, and they're able to get it to you pretty quickly too.
Right. Yeah.
Nice.
Because that's what people always want to know. How do they get it in their hands? And that's what they're at.
I know, man. Like I'm getting a ton of messages on social media, email, and like, hey, people from Texas, like, where can I get this? And like, it's one of those things where, of course, we'd like to be as many places as we want, but right now we're building a brand, we're building a foundation. So like, we're not going to be everywhere. I think that we're going to try to really, really, really focus in our backyard, which is here in Chicago, and then for sure in California, Los Angeles, San Diego, San Francisco, specifically, and then from there, figure out where else we want to go. Our importer is based out of New York. So, New York is kind of like, in the plans along with Connecticut and Jersey. But yeah, for right now, just 2 states.
Cool.
When we'll do one of those cool posts. We'll make something. We'll grab your website and put it on there. That way, it makes it easier for everybody. Instead of them searching it, we'll just make a clickable link and say thank you to Lost Horse for coming on. So that way, everybody has that easy link. They don't have to search for it. They can just go to our Instagram and we'll tie you in there too. We'll tag you so you could repost that yourself too. Because that's the fun stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Very cool.
And was there anything that we didn't ask that you wanted to cover?
I think I mentioned it already. Like, the barrel age projects are super special to me.
Yeah.
It's a lot different than what you typically see in the tequila industry. I'm crossing 2 worlds. It's like I'm in the beer industry, I'm in the tequila industry. So this is something that me and Sergio Cruz have talked about. And we're excited, man. We're really excited to kind of come out with some different expressions. High ABV beers are tasty, and they share a lot of the same notes that you would get from a reposado or an añejo. Mm-hmm. So, what we're trying to do is, not incorporate a ton of beer flavor in there, but we're trying to get these barrels to, accent, what's already there in tequila. So I'm really looking forward to that. I think it's going to be really, really different, really, really interesting.
No, I'm just curious, as far as what you're going to do with the barrels and how you're going to prep them in order to transition that flavor from one to the other without completely eradicating the flavor. You know what I mean? Because if you do chip and you wash and then you recharge, the flavor is practically gone at that point. Back to right? Yep. So that balance is going to be interesting. And will you be willing to compromise a little bit more of agave, so to speak, flavor-wise, to kind of bring out some of the other flavors that you're trying to pull over from the beer barrels? You know what I mean? I'm just just thinking out loud.
Absolutely. No, that's a good point. So, our barrels, the barley wine barrel and the stout barrels that we're sending down there, they're fresh dumped. So, what happens is when they take the barley wine or they take the stout out of there, they fill it up with CO2 so that there's not any type of bacterial growth. So our key is to get it down there as soon as possible and try to fill it as soon as possible. So in that case, we are not going to do any type of tipping, recharring. It's just going to go into a fresh barrel.
Right. Yeah. Now we're talking. Okay, so make sure you let me know when you release those in Chicago and LA, even though I'm nowhere near it, so I can get one of those. Because I love weird, interesting, different, however you want to categorize it. That's the kind of stuff that I love. So
yeah, creative.
Yeah, man. Let's do it for sure.
All right, Tequila Lovers Anonymous is asking you, any Lost Lore aged in sound growler barrels?
Great question. I think for sure we do that as soon as possible. We don't do too much barrel aging. So I think that once we kind of build our barrel aging program back up, we will see that. It'll be some time though. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Just in due time. That's all.
Yeah. I think again, coming from the beer industry, there's a lot of breweries out there that are pumping out just amazing beers. So we've reached out to some other breweries that do a ton of barrel aging. There's of course stout and barley wine are big. But there's some really, really cool, funky stuff out there too, So you could have a saison that's fermented with the saison yeast, but then you add Brettanomyces or some type of lactobacillus, anything like that, where you're going to get completely different flavors, right? So that type of stuff is traditionally kind of put in maybe a wine barrel. So the sky's the limit on this stuff, and I think that you do have tequilas out there that kind of have that barnyard flavor, and I think a barrel like that would really, really complement kind of that barnyard funk flavor. It's really going to be kind of like a fun focus of mine coming up next year of like, all right, what kind of barrels can we get into?
Nice.
And they're going to be super small. I mean, we're not talking about like, the other day I saw a picture of, there was the ad in it for your week, and they went to, was it Casa, was it Volcan de Mi Tierra? It might have been.
Yeah, they went
So
to
what's
Volcan, and they also had Don Fulano. They had a picture there. That was the overhead picture, and they had a ton of barrels. But yeah, Volcan was the really nice, like, kind of high tech looking one. Yeah.
So I saw a picture of that, and I'm like, holy shit! Like, how many barrels do they have in there? It's crazy, and great for them. But I mean, we're talking about like limited releases. So
Probably a handful.
I'm only looking to do like 4 barrels. That's it, of all these different extensions. So that's what we're going to send down for the Bottle Logic barrels for Stout, and then also for the barrels over here for Revolution.
I like it.
Yeah. Because you have to have the juice to set aside, and then you don't know how it's going to turn out. So you got to start small and then scale up. You learn. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Absolutely.
So, with this being closer to the end of the year, what we like to do is that, with the brands that have come on the show, and we try to work with them too, at the end of the year, there's a little thing coming up next month called, I don't know if you've gotten to see it yet, but it's called the 12 Days of Tequila that we do.
Okay.
Tequila Claus comes out.
Yeah.
And what he does is he gives away bottles of tequila. So we'd like to see, at some point soon, we're like, hey, does Lost Lord want to get involved with 12 Days of Tequila this year?
Hell
so,
yeah, man. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let me know like what you guys are looking to do. Like we're really pushing De Blanco right now. But like, we have some Reposado and Añejo too that are beautiful expressions. So let me know how you guys want to play it.
Yeah, we like it because it lets people know what brands we worked with this year, but also it helps, market your brand. And then people get to see it and they're like, hey, what should I buy for Christmas? Let's ask these guys. Let's check the 12 Days of Tequila, because we gave away well, like 26 bottles, 30 bottles last year. Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. So it used to be like one winner. I mean, John remembers back in the first year. This will be year 4. The first year was like, hey, look, you won this. Look what you won. Now, this past year we were like picking 4 winners per day, and some of them won 1 or 2 bottles. So we just kind of go down that path and make sure that we're promoting and helping and supporting the brands that have come on and been on the show. So we'd like to have you out there, Arturo. We'll definitely.
I would love to do it. So yeah, shoot me some details, and I'm totally down.
100%.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Cool.
All right, you guys. We have any more questions for our guest here?
No, it's great talking.
I think the dude's getting rowdy over here.
Pleasure. Hopefully, we represented your brand in a positive light. We got a lot of good questions in for people to see about your brand, and so that way now they know more than what they knew before.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you guys again. I really appreciate it. So you guys have been amazing. I really look forward to talking to you guys. Rudy, I'll be there next month, so we definitely we gotta connect when I'm over there in Phoenix. So let's all be talk.
Yeah, I need to start like a black car service, because every time somebody comes to town, like, hey, can you pick me up from the airport? I'm like, okay, let's go on the tour. I'm like, you need to get black car service, and 5-star black car service. That's what we're gonna call it. Sitting down there.
He goes from the airport to Barcoa.
Yeah, Barcoa and makes the rounds.
Trevor's.
The funny thing, I was talking to a guy last Sunday who does kind of this service, and Arizona is one of the only states where you can have alcohol in the back seat when you do car service like that.
Get out of here, really?
Yeah, we
nice.
Yeah, we can if you have a chauffeur. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that's
in Texas.
As long as it's some kind of car service.
Yeah.
They have to have like a license, though. They have to be like a registered. Like,
you can't just be an Uber.
Yeah, you got to be like a registered limousine driver or some kind of driver.
It's got to be a car service, not Uber.
Right.
But
exactly.
But if you are in an Uber and you crack your beer, you won't get in trouble. That's the thing, because it's your own beer. It's not the car service serving it. So that's the other part of the law. Kind of interesting. Believe me, I've been reading
Look
about
how he's looking. He's like,
car service laws.
Yeah,
Bryce is like,
I know we can go
let me
down this path.
Let me
In
take some
Texas,
penal code
it's Class
on
D
that.
misdemeanor. Yeah, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it's a slight misdemeanor. So hey, those little bottles. Think about that. Think about that.
hell yeah,
Don't
man.
do it. Arturo, don't do it. Don't fall for it. Don't do it. Just don't do it.
Yeah, cool.
Anyways.
Yeah, thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it. Cool. All right.
Salud. Thank you.
Salud. Have a good one.
Salud. We love having you guys on. All right. Zoo.
See you guys.
Everybody out. We'll see you next week, and we'll have another guest.
I guess Rudy's out too. We just.
Is that it?
I guess so.
You know what? You know I'll be ready to go to bed.
Yeah,
you know
no.
me.
Me too. I work tomorrow. So cool, man. Good seeing you.
You as well. Thanks
Yeah.
everybody for watching. We appreciate you stopping by the Tequila Zoo. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Please, when we repost the video, comment on it. Tell us what you thought about the episode. Tell us if you tried. He's going down.
I know.
Wait, Rudy, wait. Tell us if you tried the product and what you thought about Lost Lord. Anyway, sip safely, and we'll see you soon.
Cool.